how to make your environment design look like this to this. We're gonna make an entire AAA environment concept art piece for your portfolio using this one trick that makes concept art bros quiver in their sleep. From blender to banger, AAA concept art environment tricks that you need to know right now. We're gonna be starting with a 3D mock-up and then painting over it. So, are we ready? First step you're gonna wanna do is install Blender. Yes, I love Blender. I think it is a godsend to all of us. Step number 1, fire up Blender. All right, here I have a stunning cube, which is a cube. This is what's gonna load up automatically in Blender. Now, mind you, I'm actually not a Blender god. I wanted to do a post-apocalyptic environment design of like a desert, and I based it off the video game Stellar Blade. If you guys have played Stellar Blade on the PS4, or is it PS5? It is so good. I love the music, I love the girl, I love like slicing monsters in half. She's like an android or whatever, but yeah, I'm obsessed. Anyways, if you press Control squiggly line, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna put up a little image there. If you press Control squiggly line, you will be able to actually take your camera, if you have your camera open, which you should if you open up Blender. Camera should already be open. And then you use WASD, you can actually move the camera exactly like you would if you were playing a video game. You can go up and down, you can press the middle mouse button to rotate the camera around. And you can literally like, look at me going. I know this looks very pixelated and choppy, but that's because it's currently in render mode and it is trying to render everything whilst. So I have everything set up already. And by the way, I'm really not a Blender god, guys. Like, I promise you, I'm a noob. But this trick really helped speed up my AAA concept art environment style. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, anyways, I'm obsessed. I kind of like this angle. All right, here's what I'm gonna say about Blender. One thing, here's tip number 1, that people don't really talk about is actually there is a way to download royalty-free, already modeled objects from the internet that you can just buy for like $6, babe. It's like $6, you know what I mean? Or like $5. You can even get free ones for free. In fact, I got a free one for this specific video just because I wanted to showcase the tools that are available out there. If you go to websites like kitbash.com, ArtStation, or fab.com, you can actually download kitbash objects that artists who are 3D artists and way better at Blender have already created stylized objects, and then you can use those objects, take them apart, and then rebuild something within your scene that you're creating and use that as a baseline for your underpainting. So what do I mean by that? Let me explain. For this model, I actually found this post-apocalyptic like a facility or something like that. And I basically downloaded it for free from this guy who I will find his information and I'll put him in my description. And it was a free version that he had. He has also paid versions where you can, I think it's like $25 or $5. I use this. If you can see here, you can actually click and remove every piece from this already created really amazing object, aka this building. So what I did here is I used the screens from this building, I used this big pipe from this building, I used those gas tanks from this building, and I basically created my own version of what I want this to look like. In my mind, I want it to be like an abandoned facility in the desert, and I want it to be kind of maybe overgrown. And we'll see how it looks in the final piece. But for now, I just wanted to show you guys how I use Blender as a tool to create an underpainting, because ain't nobody got time for perspective. Unless you really love perspective and you love hand drawing perspective, then you do you. But for me, I'm gonna do this. One more thing, I actually watched a video online, I'm gonna link him in the description as well, on how to create sand in Blender. These are all the nodes, which I know absolutely nothing about. Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at, but I'll link his video down in the description. In his video, he did a quick example on how to draw sand in a desert, and that's what I needed for this design, obviously. So I followed his tutorial. I did like a quick mock-up of sand, desert, dunes for my ground layer. But yeah, it's a scary world, but I promise it's not that scary. You got this. Yes! Anyways, I'm actually gonna go ahead and render my image. Make sure you are on the render mode, not the object mode, obviously. Render image. Make sure your samples are set to 300, because typically I think it's set to like 3,000 or something crazy like that. They're located right here, as you can see, optimizing kernels. I don't know what that means, but the kernels are optimizing. I'm gonna go ahead and name it Abandoned Facility Fine Sand Texture. Here's a quick example of just how I played with the sunlight. Under the World tab, you click on Sky Texture and you hit Sun Disk. Then you can change the altitude and rotation of your sun. You can also change the size of it, which, that is a big sun, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and make it small. And this is kind of how I made my scene look like a desert. I don't really know how to use Blender to its extremely full potential, but what I do know is that I'm just gonna use my little kit bashed, photo bashed, 3D model bashed environment that I have created in Blender as a tool to speed up my 2D concept art design AAA environment, #video game design work. So, once we have this render completed, we're gonna actually go ahead and open it in Photoshop, or I guess Procreate or Krita or whatever program you're using for doing 2D art. I know there's a lot of new programs available nowadays, so whatever you want to do, you go ahead and you use that. I'm gonna use Photoshop. So now we have our render in our Photoshop file, or Procreate or Krita, whatever you're using. You do you. I've actually gone ahead and already worked on this painting, but I'm gonna bring it back to what it started at. Here is what it looks like before I basically started painting on top. Because why draw perspective when you can just make it in 3D? In my case right now, I'm gonna try and make this look like, again, AAA, hyper-realistic, concept art design, aesthetic, whatever. So yeah, this is what it kind of looked like when we rendered. What I actually gone ahead and did is I rendered each object separately so that I have them all separated on their own little layers. So this is what I have now, what I've been doing when I've been painting for the past like 6 hours. Here's an example of what it looked like once I started rendering on my image after I used the 3D as a mock-up for painting over it. I have the left side of my design over here. As you can see, everything is kind of separated. I have this big rusted water tank. In my mind, it's a water tank. I don't really know what it is, but I want it to be like an abandoned facility of some kind. Maybe it's a water facility. Then in front of that rundown facility, I have the solar panels, which I'm basing my concept around. They are going to be broken, and so that it makes it look like, you know, this facility was relying on the sun to function. And then I have some foreground elements like some pipes, and so I already made a little robot drone design. In my mind, what I wanted this image to look like was loosely based on Stellar Blade, right? It's like this video game set in the future. It's this girl, she fights these like monsters that I think are aliens. These were my initial sketches for before on what I thought they should look like, but I ended up going with these 4 designs, which I liked the most, and then I ended up choosing this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna plop that into my environment, and then my version, I'm gonna use my character that I had already created. Her name's Camille. Oh my god, she's my OC from DeviantArt, like back in the day. Her name was originally back then Camilla Cannon. But then I changed it to Camille because I feel like it's more sexy. I'm gonna use this because ain't nobody got time right now to draw a character, a brand new character in the foreground. So I'm gonna go ahead and use one of the sketches that I've already done for her and then render as we continue the design. Thank you guys for watching. This is the final piece. Does it look kind of cool? Does it look kind of crazy? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. There's gonna be lots more of these kinds of videos to come. I don't really know. I feel like I really started off strong. Like I did the portrait, I did the AAA environment concept art design, which is like so out of my field, by the way. But you know what? I wanted to try and make some new portfolio pieces, so I wanted to film it and do a little video with it. I don't really know. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Bye!